Husband did something I asked him not to do. My husband and I are fighting and I have asked him repeatedly not to take my children to his mother's house when we are fighting. Tonight we had a continuation of an argument that's been going on for 3 days because he has refused to talk to me. He is stonewalling and refusing to discuss any of our relationship issues. He says that he is trying to prioritize the needs of the children over this relationship. When I tried to discuss it further with him, he starts getting loud and saying that I am yelling at him, and then tells my children to put on their shoes and proceeds to take them somewhere. I talked to my oldest child and was told that they were at his mother's house. I'm angry, I'm hurt, I don't know what to do. He is refusing to answer my calls, he's not answering my text messages. What do I do? More details. Let me give some more details. I was panicking when I typed the first message. Yes, they are biologically his children. As far as daily care for them, I am their primary caregiver. He is mentally checked out 90% of the time when he is home. He has a shitty job that stresses him out and our entire house walks on eggshells around him. It's not a healthy environment and I know this. I have been seeking counseling for a long time now, but he refuses to go, and when I try to go I can't because we only have one car that he monopolizes. Some of you have done your research and yes, there is a history of infidelity. Multiple women over the past 10 years. I'm not the evil shrew someone to make me out to be. I set a boundary with him about his family because there have been several times in the past when he has taken them to his family's house when we were fighting, and his family has talked about me to my children and even talked to my children about my husband's ex-wife and how great she was. But I didn't set the boundary over that, even though I should have. The boundary was set over his family's refusal to wear masks and get vaccinated. They have continued to socialize and are borderline COVID deniers. Until tonight we were in the same page with not allowing the children around them until a vaccination was available. He isn't this great dad protecting his children from me. I wasn't yelling when I was trying to get him to talk to me before he left. I raised my voice because he kept talking over me. Honestly, I know this is toxic and I don't want to keep living this way. I want better for my children and I'm trying to be better and do better so I can break the cycle of generational trauma, but I have allowed myself to have to depend on him for everything and I feel stuck. He made me quit my job that I loved because we were having car trouble and I worked farther away than he did. He wiped out our joint account during an argument last year and opens his own account, and now I have to ask him for money if we need groceries or if the kids need things. He tells me we don't have money to get clothes or shoes for the kids right now, but always has a supply of weed and eats lunch out every day. He also collects comics and toys and hasn't stopped buying them. But I'm the asshole for asking where the money goes. That's what triggered the argument 3 days ago, and there has been no talking or resolution. Which is why I pushed to talk to him tonight, causing him to leave. Just to clarify, I would not go to my family's house if we were arguing and I left. I don't have family. I don't have friends either. Which is why I posted on this message board. And to be very clear, I didn't involve my oldest child. I text them to make sure they were okay, and that's when they told me where they were. Final edit, details. Thank you all for the input. I came here asking for help because as an abuse, trauma survivor I seek validation from anywhere I can get it. I know what I need to do. I need to get out, but I don't have the resources to do so right now. We have one car that he drives. He works 10-12-hour days and keeps the car at work with him. If there is an emergency I have to call him and hope he can come home. He controls the money, so I can't just get up and leave one day. I have tried to get a job, but when he found out I had an interview he started a fight and refused to leave me the car, so I couldn't go. Again, I have no money to Uber or no network of friends I could call to get there. There is also an issue with babysitting while I work. He won't watch them if I try to work when he's off, and I can't afford to get them enrolled in a daycare because again he controls the money and has told me he won't pay to put them in daycare. I am working on making money online and I'm saving $5 $10 each time I get grocery money, but that's slow going because something always comes up and I have to go into my savings because the kids need something. I have $15 in my bank account. I know what I need to do. I'm just stuck because I've allowed him to take everything I had away. I'm hurt because I never thought this would be me. I'm a strong person. I've been through a lot in my life and I've always gotten through it. But this marriage has broken me. I feel helpless and stuck. I feel stupid and angry at myself for allowing myself to be in this position, and I'm ashamed that my children are in the middle of this. I want better for them, and I truly, though he was different. Heartbreak. Judging from the way you describe him in this post and your other post about him, it sounds like your relationship is pretty unhealthy from both sides. I would strongly advise seeking family counseling and/or divorce. Your children should not be subjected to this level of toxicity, and should not be placed in the middle when the parents can't or won't get along. Are the kids also his kids? Is there a particular reason you don't want the kids to be at his mother's house? This whole situation sounds abusive. He's isolated you and made you financially dependent on him, which he withholds as and when he sees fit, financial abuse, and removes your children to go to be his mother, which J suspect is his way of manipulating the narrative to make you look bad. Start recording in a safe place all the arguments, when, what you both said, and if you can get audio recordings. Then look into your local domestic abuse shelter and ask for help. They can direct you towards getting a lawyer and show you how to make an exit strategy, you and your children. You need to do this ASAP to protect yourself and those kids who, according to you said, haven't been able to get a regular supply of food or necessities because he won't give you the money to get anything. Honestly, I do not see how people are saying that you're toxic op. You're clearly being abused financially and emotionally. He's trapped you by taking away your money and income. He holds your children hostage against you. He manipulates you, saying you're yelling at him as an excuse to yell at you, etc. You need to find a way to leave this man. Not to forget he's endangering you children right now by giving them to you anti-vax ILs. Why are the kids going to his mom's house a problem? Also, are they his kids too, or just your kids? Right now, leave him alone. Pick yourself up and self-reflect. Sounds things need some cooling off time. You'll never resolve anything in this current state. Why don't you want him to take the kids to his mom's? You're being financially and emotionally abused, and it's very sad for you because I think the only pathway to freedom is going to be by yourself, but your first and most important responsibility is to yourself. Please consider your safety here because at the moment you are trapped without money or transport. You need help. My 24F stepdad, 54M, wants to bang my husband, 25M. Throw away because I just cannot believe this is even happening, and it does not need to be on my main account. Some necessary background info. My husband and I are both bisexual and have a very loose relationship. We are what you would call polyamorous and do on occasion sleep with other people. Him usually men and me usually women. We plan to fully swing one day, but swingers are surprisingly hard to find where we live. It's never caused us issues as long as we communicate and stay honest with each other. So this past weekend on a really long car drive, my husband, we'll call him Ryan, dropped this bomb on me. He starts by saying he hasn't been completely honest with me, so I ask what he lied about, and he said he hasn't exactly lied about anything, he just never told me. But I guess about 3 weeks ago at my mom's house, him and my stepdad, we'll call him John, were alone in the pool, and John kept talking about increasingly sexual topics. Eventually John got kind of grabby and began touching my husband, and they had a weird moment, but it was cut short and Ryan got out and went inside, leaving John alone in the pool. Well, the few times we've gone over since that day, I've noticed Ryan being kind of distant from John, and he was unusually snappy towards things John said. I never thought this was the reason for it, but I did notice the atmosphere was kind of tense. Then comes our car ride, and Ryan finally opened up to me about what had happened, and he said on top of that John kept making sexual grunts at him whenever he had the chance. He also told me that my mom knows, and John had told her the same day that it had happened and that she was cool with it. Something about, at least we know Ryan is clean and he's a great guy for John to sleep with and stay safe. In fact, she's been actively taking me to the store and leaving Ryan with John alone at the house for them to initiate things. Ryan said during those times John would do his grunts and make sexual comments, making Ryan super uncomfortable. I had no clue about any of this. Meanwhile, John asked Ryan how I would react if he asked me, and Ryan told him I would probably freak out. So John has said some weird comments about Ryan around me, but nothing like, "Hey, can I bang your husband?" So I've been in the dark for about 3 weeks, and I'm just so disgusted and confused about all of it. I honestly have a hard time with emotional reactions in the way that I don't feel those extreme emotions. I know that I should be angry at everybody, but I'm honestly not feeling any anger at all. Mostly I'm just super confused and disgusted at the thought of my stepdad doing those things to Ryan and thinking about my husband while banging my mom. If I'm angry about anything, it's that they all kept it hidden from me. I haven't talked to either my mom or my stepdad about any of this. My husband knows fully how grossed out I am, but I'm not sure how angry I should be at him. I mostly am mad that he kept it a secret, but don't know if I should also be angry about the pool thing because he didn't exactly let it progress into actual sex, and he did separate himself from John. And I have no clue how to bring this up to my mom and stepdad. It's all so messed up and I'm so confused and disgusted about all of it. And yes to anyone asking if this is real. It's 100% real and so typical of my mother to think any of this would be okay. Too long did not read. Stepdad tried to bang my husband in the pool 3 weeks ago and I just found out this past weekend. I'm so confused about all of it. I personally have no experience with polyamory. But that really is not the problem here. The problems are 1. Your mother's manipulating you into shopping, to push your husband and stepdad together, and keep you in the dark. You clearly cannot trust your own mother. She doesn't care how she might harm your marriage. 2. The stepdad is actually regularly harassing your husband for sex. Making pig grunts. Like from the movie Deliverance. Extremely disgusting. I can only think that you and your husband have to go no contact with them. John is a sexual aggressor in this situation as he is making unwanted advances towards your husband. Ryan was assaulted. Therefore, you need to protect your husband from his abuser and go no contact with your stepdad at least. Since your mom actually encouraged the behavior and is guilty in this situation as well. That is what the kids call sexual harassment. What the fuck? We know Ryan is clean. Excuse me, mother and wife. What the fuck does that matter if Ryan doesn't like being harassed? You can just go NC or send your mom an email, text detailing how upset and disgusted you are with her and that you don't wish to talk to her for a while, or ever. If you decide to move, don't tell her your address. I'm guessing husband didn't tell you right away because he feels confused and disgusted. It's very shocking. Maybe he was trying to find the best way to bring it up. It's even worse that stepdad has known him since he was 12. I don't think I could ever think of someone I knew as a 12-year-old as a viable sexual partner. Both of your parents have violated the trust between all involved. I would definitely be going NC with them as they clearly have no respect for boundaries. Your husband was sexually harassed. Why would you be mad at him? You should be furious that your stepdad is being inappropriate, crossing boundaries, and that your mom is enabling this behavior. Somewhere out there is a world-killing meteor heading our way and I think I'm rooting for it now. I've never been happier to be in a monogamous relationship with just one person. I accused my girlfriend of cheating and was wrong. Update. A couple of hours after I made my post, girlfriend decided that she wanted to talk. She told me that she needed a break from us. She is moving her stuff out of our home and staying with her best friend a while. She also said that she is leaving our kid with me during our separation. She told me not to contact her unless it was about our child. I am obviously devastated, but I am keeping myself together for my kid. Today, I had a work emergency and had to drive over an hour to the next town to fix the problem. Because of the issue at work, I wasn't going to be able to pick Lo up from daycare on time. I texted girlfriend a couple of times with no reply. I also called her and the phone went to voicemail. I called and asked my sister if she could pick Lo up and she did. Not answering a call pertaining to our child isn't like girlfriend, so I decided to message GF's best friend to see if she is okay. Boyfriend just messaged me saying that girlfriend isn't staying with her and hasn't spoken to her. I honestly have no idea how to reply to that. I am in bad need of advice. Too long did not read. Girlfriend moved out and left our kid with me. She wouldn't answer calls pertaining to Lo, so I decided to call the friend that she is staying with. Friend told me that she wasn't staying with her and she hasn't talked to Tay recently. Edit. I called a few of her family member and she is okay. Her friend is coming over today to talk to me about something. I also had to go to the work emergency because if I didn't I would have been fired. My boss doesn't play and I need the job to put food on the table and keep a roof over our heads. I also want to clarify that I did in fact ask her if everything was okay before I asked if she was cheating. I just didn't put that in the OG post and it got locked before I could answer the comments. I am not saying that she wasn't depressed because she may have been, but what I noticed was she didn't want me to touch her or hug her and it seemed that she didn't want to be near me. She was kind of standoffish towards me before I asked. Also, I am not abusive towards my GF. Edit 2. A word. I would contact family and friends and if no one has heard from her, file a missing person report. The friend could be lying? Call her family and ask them about her. If they don't know, tell them you'll file a missing person report. Any chance that the friend is lying to help her stay NC? Update after you find her. It's worried that she left her baby with you and is not reachable by phone. I hope she didn't commit suicide. You said that before accusing her of cheating you tried to talk to her and asked if there is something wrong, but she didn't tell you. Why wouldn't she tell her long-term boyfriend, a person she is supposed to trust, about health issues? Why would she hide this information from you? Also, in your original post, you said that no matter how much you try, she won't have sex with you. What exactly did you mean by, no matter how much I try? Next time don't take advice from your sleazeball coworker then op. Her friend is clearly lying to you. I would too if my friend ended up dealing with the crap you put on her. In this thread I see a lot of assumptions of why she didn't want to have sex with you, why she left, and why she suddenly disappeared. All we know is that she was at a vulnerable state, thrown into a stressful situation, left, and now is off the grid. Nothing matters besides the mother of your child's safety, everything else can wait. Also please research how an underactive thyroid can affect one's libido plus mood and how to stop making negative assumptions. Is my girlfriend cheap or am I overthinking? I have a girlfriend that is older by 4 years. I have always been proud of her great career and the fact that she makes almost 6 figures. Her lifestyle of working out with a private trainer, eating Uber Eats for every meal, and frequent trips to the salon is a life that I aspire to have one day. This is because I am a 25-year-old blue-collar male that lives paycheck to paycheck. I have been this way from when I met my girlfriend, but we began dating as she saw past my situation. Though I may not be able to take her out to dinner, I try to do what I can, like baking her treats or cooking. I have never once asked my girlfriend for money, nor has she ever offered to pay for anything. This is how our relationship has always been. Recently I ended up leaving my job as I became burned out from the long hours that brought me little money. This has given me a peace of mind and chance to look for a new job. The only thing is I am now broke. This is a consequence of my actions that I believe are my own responsibility, but a part of me feels alone and hurt by the fact that my girlfriend turns a blind eye. As I munch on my scrambled eggs while looking at the stack of bills on the dinner table, I find it odd that my girlfriend is able to enjoy her delivered sushi while calling attention to her new sneakers. I've tried to break up with her for the reason of wanting to focus on improving my situation. I find it odd that she refuses. She insists that she wants to continue on despite what is going on in my life, but doesn't realize that I find her lack of generosity despite being well off disheartening. A single cup of coffee would mean the world to me, but I could never tell her because I don't want her to mistake me for an entitled person. Maybe it is because I used to have a relationship where my partner and I would always help each other in any way we can. But couldn't my girlfriend say, "Let me know if I can help with something, even just once"? I find it very strange that the two of you are sitting at the same dinner table while one eats a home-cooked meal and the other eats delivery. Do you live together? If so, and you're unemployed, do you have the time to cook for both of you? The two of you sound more like roommates than partners. Uber Eats for every meal is not a goal you should have, it's fucking stupid. Sue. You quit a job before you had another lined up and you want your girlfriend to bankroll your poor decision? Sorry dude. She very well may be acutely aware of your situation but hesitant to help for fear that you will become a mooch and turn her into your sugar mama. Honestly, I would if I were in her shoes. A grown-ass man up and quit his job without even so much as a backup plan. That probably throws red flags up for her. You quitting your job and financial struggles are not her problem. Stand on your own 2 feet. Your girlfriend is not cheap, she works for what she has and has a lifestyle she likes to maintain. I'm sure taking financial care of a boyfriend who quit his job without having another job is not in her financial plan. If this was reversed and she was asking Reddit if she should support her boyfriend with no job, everyone would be telling her, hell no. If a partner of mine quit his job with no backup plan other than to get another job, I'd let them eat scrambled eggs too. Your choices, your consequences. Dude. How long have you been together? Seriously, talk to her. For all you know, she thinks you don't want her help. Some men can get really weird about that stuff. Tell her what's bothering you. Don't wait for her to offer, she's not a mind reader. Maybe she is being cheap, maybe there's a different reason she hasn't offered. But for God's sake, stop assuming things and communicate with your partner. This is your girlfriend, not your wife. Get it together.